So would you like a daytime view and tour of the design of the aviary here? I thought that might be nice. It's kind of hard to tell what you're looking at in the dark when I'm just using a flashlight. But I wanted to explain what it was right away, so I wasn't patient. This is an aviary with... Well, we just added a bunch of quail, and I haven't quite figured out what my total is anymore. We just had a big rain today, too, and it seems like everybody stayed super dry. So, that's good. So, let's have a look-see. These are U-posts. Some of them are 6-foot ones, and some of the half points are just 5-foot ones. Okay. And then we of course have fencing. A lot of the fencing is double layered up with heavy duty wire fencing covered over in chicken wire. The chicken wire is then either double looped over, and I cut these halfway up like here because it's easier to avoid cutting yourself when pushing like this than pushing like down on the end of something for leverage. They're either double wrapped. There's some hog clips. There's also a good bit of wire weaving, which you can see. This is two long pieces of chicken wire strung across the ceiling. And then I put apple branches up there because they then know not to fly straight up a lot better than they did before I put those there, because they feel like they have a canopy. Inside, there's a lot of trash from the dock. A lot of plexiglass gets thrown away on the dock at work. This was even like almost basically a fish tank type of thing. I've got it tilted so the water will go out. The front looks like it's not there, but there is quite a bit of plastic also covering here. The hope for this is that it will prevent birds from getting grabbed by like a raccoon, you know? That's the hope. So far, it seems to be working way better to have the panel guards on the outside. It does seem to be working way better to have that. I may need to end up double securing my corners or something. We'll find out. But it's been maybe almost a month at this point. And they do have a lot of places to run and hide from the rain, but we don't have like a centralized rain roof. And that's because the winds get so vicious up here that this whole structure would probably just rip out the ground. So we have little triangles and a low profile of wind stopping. This has a bit of a broken triangle out of it. Nothing sharp. I did super check that. These are pieces from, what exactly would you call that? Laser cutter. Sometimes I accidentally call the laser cutter a 3D printer. So, that's why I think extra hard about saying what that one is. And so is that and that. So those were getting thrown away, so I kept them out the trash. The birds are doing really well in there. We have 2 different flocks being taught to get along. But then we also have one rooster and 1 hen indoors because on immediate observation, I could tell that that rooster wasn't going to get along with the rest of this crew. and I don't know why. I kind of want to try swapping him inside for this one here and seeing if that goes better without big man in charge being around, because that's a really protective rooster, and that is not always the best. It's not the best when they're attacking other birds and going for the kill, you know. So there's protective, and then there's too protective, harmful. So he's got 4 hens with him, a 5th hen here, and then there's Gak over here. And Gak's been sitting with Goldilocks a lot. Calico's right there. This morning, Cadoba was inside the pot, but I see her. She's actually right there. So we practically have just the 2 groups segregating themselves from each other. Gak's having a bad week. He seems to have lost a piece off his beak. The quail crew says that they grow back, so that's good, and usually pretty fast. And he does seem to be eating okay, I think. Keep an eye on him. There is about 6 inches to a foot, depending on where, of fencing spread across the ground. The whole way around. Some of it's just buried. Some of it you can see, and some of it's underneath walkway stuff. Like this is out here, over here as well. But then I put the walkway plastic back over. You can see this is also from the dock. Trash plastic yet again. It's probably clear moduled polystyrene. But at any rate, it's a form of plexi, but it's round. And it's hollow. And I have it out here because I now have a funnel-shaped scoop, and I would really like to see if I can set this up so that when I'm in a big hurry or having an overwhelmed period of time, see if I could add food from outside the enclosure. Because sometimes making sure all the birds are away, and then I get sometimes cut on the door and everything else, and all of the locks and everything. Sometimes I just get overwhelmed and I'm like, how much do I care? And I do care. I care a lot, but sometimes it's just hard to care as much as is necessary. So I want to give myself like a shortcut option, basically, and see if I can just add food here and have it go into the cage like that. Maybe even be able to put a cap on it. I don't know. We'll see. I might need some plumbing pieces or something. So that is... Oh yeah, this is electrical conduit as the roofing struts. To bend it, I actually pulled down and then rotated, because if you push up, it bends back here because of the cantilever action, but if you pull down, it bends right where you want it to. But to arch it, there is this center pull that is, I think, 3-inch plumbing tee, and it's fed through the middle. Then the other one goes up over top of that. The ceiling was getting too low over there, so I did shove another piece of plumbing up on top of that. Some of the electrical conduit is dock trash, some of it is not. And the tree surround here is the one blueberry out of the 2 that actually arrived in the mail. I'm starting to doubt if they didn't just cancel the other part of my order on the blueberry and not alert me. That seems possible. There is a daylily growing back there. That's safe for them to eat, but I had to dig out all of the snowdrops because those are toxic that were popping up in this it's in this zone. Wild birds do sometimes still get in here. I think it's this size gap that they're utilizing. And that's a little annoying, but what can you do, I guess. But I also watched a sparrow stand on top of one of the conduits and then squeeze through. That's like an inch. Squeezed through there to get out this morning because they freaked out when they saw me and weren't being as sensible about the whole thing. So, yeah, there do get wild birds do still get in here sometimes, but I have not seen any predators get in here. Hopefully the wild birds won't end up carrying any disease, or maybe I need to extend this coverage down a little farther to reduce that outcome. I liked that I could get my hand in here, but I don't know if it's worth it all told at all. So that's possibly everything. See, there's more plastic guarding the corner here. This corner's a little exposed, and I've been thinking I should probably strap down a couple more pieces that I found here as protection. And then that corner's a tiny bit exposed. I think in the original design, I was having a lot of problems because these panels were inside and the birds would get up and get in between from inside. And then they were basically completely exposed to predators, which is obviously not ideal in any way, shape, or form. And I lost a lot of birds before I figured out what might be happening. And I hope I figured it out. I really hope. So, yeah, probably could stand to drill another hole here and tighten this up a bit because it is kind of hanging, but you can kind of see how the triangle of leaning things against the wall, which originally I had crate pallets propped up, but now that there's so many birds, I was having an almost impossible time identifying whether the birds were actually okay when I had to like duck around and peek around opaque things. So as long as they are okay with things being clear, and I'm not yet 100% convinced that they are okay with it, I'm still kind of assessing that. I may put that specific one back in. But as long as they are okay with it, then this is ideal for me. If they're struggling with it, then I need to reconsider. So, we'll see. We will see. And, let's give another overview here. It is going to double as blueberry protection. Oh, yeah, the doors are some metal shelving that somebody was throwing away, and again covered with chicken wire. So yeah, that's what's going on here. It's a really warm day. Let's go see the cliffside real quick and all these daffodils out here. There's a lot of mud right there. Whew. So yeah, these flowers. There's also definitely a lot of bugs. I hope I explained the aviary as well as I do in the dark. The nice thing about the flashlight is it forces me to focus and talk specifically about the aviary because I have to look where the flashlight's going. It's a little bit easier to get distracted, so maybe that was a better explanation last time, but a better look this time. I don't know, but it's awfully pretty, huh? Oh wow, that glitched. This is the shake reduction on my cell phone, and it is highly imperfect. I think it might be raining over there. Yeah, see? Alright, well thank you so much for visiting my cliffside, which is right there. I hope you're all having a really good day. I am. The vet trip's over. We're good. Take care. Bye.